Black Americans are on TikTok stating that Black History Month is only meant to celebrate Black American history. And I 110% disagree. That's crazy. I can recognize that the concept of Black History Month started in America, but that's as far as that goes. To then come onto this app and state Black History Month is only meant to celebrate Black American history is absurd. And you are moving like the colonizers who put you there. First, y'all weren't even the first ones freed. Second, majority of the Black figures you celebrate during Black History Month have roots in the Caribbean, who then have roots to the motherland. How can you disregard the motherland and the two boat stops before y'all? Maya Angelou, Trinidadian. Stokely Carmichael, Trinidadian. Colin Powell, Jamaican. Harry Belafonte, Jamaican. Grandmaster Flash, Bayesian. Malcolm X, Grenadian. To concentrate the celebration of Black history to just the Americas is absolutely ridiculous and contradictory to celebrating Black history.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber died trying. You see the thumbnail. More important, you saw the link. This is selfish to me. The whole delineation thing, I think some people's response that are not Black Americans is selfish. It's like, yo, we can be whatever we are, but you can't be whatever you are because we benefit on what you are. And let's just pretend that that's not the case because that's the way I like it. Now, part of this is taking things like taking historical facts and bending them, and in the context can be completely right sometimes with a hint of BS, and the context can be completely wrong with a lot of BS. Like take for instance, she brought up Maya Angelou, Stokely Carmichael, Colin Powell, Harry Belafonte, and Malcolm X. Right? When people were about Maya Angelou being, great poet, writer, thinker, cool. But people put that Black people who love white people more than Black people and Jim Crow thing that goes on Black people. That y'all don't say she's Caribbean then. You get what I'm saying? Stokely Carmichael, nothing to say. Stand up, A1, whatever. Colin Powell. Only thing they really say about him negative is he color struck, which goes into that whole thing, right? Harry Belafonte. Say good things about Harry Belafonte, Sidney Poitier, but what the thing they say about them, color struck. But see, that goes on Black American men. You know what I'm saying? The Malcolm X thing. His mom was Grenadian. That don't make him Grenadian. His dad was Black American. See, so when his daddy got killed by the Klan, that don't count, right? When the racism was so bad in America that his mom, who's from Grenada, basically went into a mental institution until like I think she died in the late 80s. And Malcolm, I don't believe ever went to Grenada. And I don't believe any of the people from Grenada that was his family ever came to get him when he was like in boys' homes. And they never came to check on his mom so but let's take the good from it because Malcolm's great and Malcolm's a historical figure. And let's just act like the other stuff didn't happen. The other thing, this passive aggressive disrespect or, you know what I'm saying, y'all ain't really all that because somebody else is better than you and blacker than you. And it's like, okay. So you got to pick a side. Some of y'all, y'all, and let me disperse this thing. Well, we say, people say I'm not black, I'm this. See, at first, the problem isn't that you are your nationality. The problem is you use your nationality to get out of the black experience when it's convenient, and use blackness to get benefits in the black experience when it's convenient. That's the problem. I had a professor in college from the islands, and he talked about this because he was a student and in America. He was a student that basically became a professor, and he talked about like when he came here, like all the he I think he was at HBCU if I'm not mistaken, and he's like all of the black folks there. Okay, you black? Okay, cool. He's like, no, 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 I'm I'm black, but I'm knit. I'm not like y'all. It's like, oh, okay, okay. So you not really black. You this. It's like, oh, okay. He said, and then he got into a situation where it was racial, and then he went back to his dorm room with all the brother, man, they did this to me because I'm black, and I'm there. It was like, no, 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 you not black. Remember, you different. So you see, and he said that was his wake up moment to like, you know, it was cool when it benefited him, but when it backfired, he was like, oh, I can't be doing it. I can't play this game like this because brothers ain't gonna let you off the hook like that. But he understood it. Speaking of another Caribbean, since we're talking history, right? Um, Ivan Van Sertima, the brother that made They Came Before Columbus, the book that people refer to with the Olmecs and black people being here before, the Atlantic slave trade. Um, he talked about how he came to America and the racism was so overbearing that he tried to take his own life by drinking some type of poison, but it didn't work. And I say that to say this: Black American history is, all of you people who have an experience from the Caribbean or Africa or the UK, and y'all had things go on there. In the Caribbean, you had your you had slavery in there, and in Africa you had colonization, and the UK you had kind of like a Caribbeans, Africans kind of having like a UK type civil rights movement because of the racism in Europe. But here's what you don't say. It's different here. Completely different. It's more barbaric here. And the things that we had to create out of the barbaric society of America, um, other groups didn't create in, I guess, a less stressful environment. So what winds up happening is why I say it's selfish is you want to come here and if you want to say, hey man, those black people did something great, I'm cool with that. And it's an inspiration to do something great for you in your group, that's one thing. But if you like, no, I'm just a part of this because I want to take credit for this. And but if something happened with my group, oh, I'm gonna take credit for that too. And it's like, no, because we can't do that with you. We don't do that with you other groups, and we can't do that with you other groups. So stop being selfish. All right. When people like and people say, what are your contributions to the world the Black America's done, and people play that culture stuff. That's part of the issue when y'all say we don't have a culture, but then you want to participate in our Black History Month and say, oh, it's for everybody. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. We're not doing that, because what you're gonna say is we don't have a culture and Black history is actually all of y'all culture. No, we're not doing that. You know, going back to what have we contributed to society? Basically, Black America created the paramedics. Ambulance, that's a Black American thing. Helicopters, Black American. Cell phone, Black American. Air conditioner, Black American. Refrigerator, Black American. Elevator, escalator, Black American. Like you wouldn't have banks, Black American. Certain surgeries would not have been successful because if it weren't for Black Americans doing them. Think about that. All the medical information that all these people was doing, they were just experiment torturing people. They weren't trying to save lives. But that's that's part of our history. We all having fun out here. Y'all playing what do you call that? Um God dog it. What is it? What is it that y'all playing video games, Black Americans? Sorry. Like Canada. If I'm not mistaken, um blacks in Canada invented hockey. Because it's a form, it's a amalgamation of a game that was played in Africa in the desert. But that should be like we're not going. Oh, hey, that Canadian history. Fuck it, we taking it over. No, but we know it's a historical thing. You get what I'm saying? And then part of this delineating history, right, is instead of trying to latch on and take our history and pull people in and out at your convenience, why don't you say, hey man, this is what our country did? And the other aspect of that is Black History Month is in the UK in October. I'm guessing people are not gonna. Black Americans don't take over the UK's Black History Month. We don't go. That's our stuff. You can't hold us out. And I'm pretty sure there are Black Americans that are listed in Black History Month in the UK. But I personally think it's it's telling that the United States of America and the United Kingdom are the two places in the world that have a Black History Month. And the reason I believe that is because Black people are the minority in both of those places. All you Africa, the Caribbean, if y'all wanted a Black History Month, it's y'all countries. At least numerically, you could have got it. So when I say that stuff is selfish, it's selfish. The same way people talked about, Essence Festival became about Africa in the Caribbean. It's not. We didn't make Carnival about Black America. We didn't make Soca Fest about Black America, but we went. Y'all out of pocket, man. And it's starting to be aggravated. It's annoying, but it's becoming aggravating. You're gonna get an angry response because it doesn't it looks like it doesn't come from a good place. It comes from I want the good in your group while I'm disrespecting your group and while I'm dumping the bad of my group onto your group. It's trifling. But okay. Tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.